This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this? Dun 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 dun.
This is a sham.
No.
Y'all, just stop.
Welcome to DBL. It's Tuesday, November 9th. I'm Tori here with Jeff and Al. All right. Good to see you, gentlemen.
Good to see you as well.
Thank you very much.
Hello.
Hello. Hello to you. All right, we're continuing to follow this story again. I got the crowd surge at Houston concert that left 8 people dead and dozens more injured. One of the victims, 21-year-old Axel Acosta, died because the weight of the crowd literally suffocated him. His father speaking out about his death. Take a look.
We're trying to make things change in this type of events. Today is me. I lost my son. It could be you, it could be you. It's not the first time that he's been in a big event. You can go to Disneyland and have fun. You can go to a baseball game and have fun because they have the right security.
He's joined at least one of 18 lawsuits against rapper Travis Scott and headlined the festival along with the organizers of the event. Now, the FBI has launched a criminal investigation, and some are saying Scott should have paused the show. Here's what the Houston fire chief told the Today Show. Take a look.
We all have a responsibility. Everybody in that at that event has a responsibility, starting from the artist on down. The artist, if he notices something that's going on, he can certainly pause that performance, turn on the lights, and said, "Hey, we're not going to continue until this thing is resolved."
Jeff, I hadn't gotten your take on this. What do you think?
You know, yesterday I was kind of up in the air where I stand. Al made some good points. Is it the artist's responsibility? That's what security's for. He made some good points. But looking back now, because it's on every channel and you see the video, if I saw maybe some lights in the audience and I was up there performing, I'm not an artist by any means, but I might say, "Hey, is everything okay over there?" and get like a thumbs up from security.
Right.
And if I got that thumbs up, I would continue to perform, right? So again, it goes back to who bears responsibility for this. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer.
Right. Yeah, Jeff, and I think that's what they're counting on, is that you're not a lawyer. And when I say it's so interesting that FBI is so quick to name Travis Scott, a name that everybody knows, as a person of interest. And it's like, hey, I know that the FBI is really on top of it. Did they figure out who's behind that building in Miami falling down? I guess there's no celebrity to attach a name to, so they just let that kind of go. I haven't heard anything from that, and we're a daily news show. It's so interesting how we find a target, and now it's interesting to the public. I have been to countless nightclubs. Countless, where they've been closed because the fire marshal comes in and goes, "We're over capacity." So where was that person now? Was it up to the guy in the basement running his music through his speakers? Should he have stopped it, or did the fire department show up because that's their job? So at what point does it cease to be their job is my question.
I really disagree with you, and I really respect you because you're an artist, and I know what you would do if you saw something in the audience. And to be very fair, Travis stopped several times to say, "Hands up in the air, are we okay? Hey, someone fainted." So he did stop. He just continued to go, even though people were sort of screaming, so it's hard to know. But I do think he bears some responsibility, and I know he's a celebrity, but that's because he happened to be headlining. We don't know about the Miami guy because it's Joe Smith. Travis Scott had the microphone. He had the ability to stop the sound and to control the area. And several people say he saw what was going on and didn't. It stinks that he's a celebrity, but he's responsible in some parts, along with Live Nation, security. I agree that the venue.
What would you give the percentage of the chance of another riot breaking out if the music stopped, Jeff, and people got upset? We've seen what happens when they stop concerts, or like, oh, this band won't be here because they got stuck at the airport. People also riot out of anger.
But I'd rather stop what's already people drowning in each other than worry about what might happen. There was an ambulance cutting through the crowd, couldn't get to people doing CPR 50 feet from Travis.
But why doesn't the ambulance have a clear path? Is that also Travis Scott's fault?
No, I agree.
It's just so interesting that I think it's too easy to be like, yeah, the rich guy did it.
Dude, he had the mic.
There are people that you hire to do this.
I know, but you need the loudest voice. He's been arrested twice for inciting a riot for 2 different concerts. This is his act. I want you to go through the barricades. I want you to rip, and I'm not trying to rip on Travis Scott. he's
all punk music should be punk rock is based on ripping things apart.
True, I hear you.
So what are we doing here? Is it good? Is it going to be everybody? From now on, is it anybody that says any message?
8 people didn't die at punk rock concerts. He encouraged.
People died at a 2004 Damage Plan concert. People have died at concerts
before. I agree, but he tweeted and then deleted, Travis Scott, we're going to let the wild ones in. We're already at capacity. Some negligence. This guy has a 9-year-old who shouldn't have brought a 9-year-old. He's suing. The 9-year-old's in a medical coma. I agree, the 9-year-old shouldn't have gone to the concert. But at some point, you don't see Travis Scott having any responsibility as being in control?
No, that's not his job. You hire people to do that.
Okay.
Period.
Yeah, I haven't seen all the videos of him saying, is everything cool? And then saying,
I've seen
yes,
several,
it is.
yes.
So again, not to take sides or say who's right or responsible.
Yeah.
No, I think you guys both make good points.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, if as an artist, again, I'm not an artist, but there's a lot of things you have to do during a show, right? There's choreography, there's places you have to be, there's words that you have to remember, there's pyrotechnics that you have to get out of the way from. If I'm doing a show and someone's like, it's all good, and I'm seeing an ambulance, and I'm like, it's all good? Yeah, buddy, it's all good. Okay. Now does the responsibility fall on that person that gave me the thumbs up? Where's the chain of responsibility, and how much were they telling him it's all good?
And that's what's opaque, Jeff, and that's why I just thought it was very bad that the police chief came out and just said Travis Scott without saying there's an investigation going on.
You think that was almost defamation in terms of just
I just think it's really interesting. I've been on it since that cop in Atlanta came out, and when that monster shot those 8 Asian folks down there in Atlanta, and the cop comes out and says, oh, he was having a bad day, and he saw a place that was having illicit sex, so he just eliminated the problem. I was like, that's the most unprofessional. And I just noticed how they're tilting the narrative to the public as it's coming out.
You need to be discerning, but I also think, and really strongly disagree with you, all due respect, that Travis Scott has an enormous amount of responsibility and might be criminally held liable if the barriers weren't put up or if he requested people to crash the barriers, which he's done in the past and been arrested for.
I'm just saying, pretty soon they're going to, because...
But that's a pattern now. Do you agree?
No, I don't think it's a pattern.
2 times you've been arrested.
Oh, well, so what about Limp Bizkit? They do the same thing. Tear it up. Hey, I know you're an angry white guy in the suburbs. Let's rip up the house and go do stuff. And he made millions. Because there's a lot of people that feel like that. You can't say that this music is telling people to do things. That's the way they went after rock and roll. That's the way they went after hip hop.
Again, you're taking that out of. I'm not saying the words of rock and roll, the punk, Rage Against the Machine. I'm all for that.
You're saying he tweeted those are words.
I agree, but I think that the actual safety of the concert is in question, where it wasn't. People didn't die at a Limp Bizkit concert. We've seen A$AP Rocky stop a concert and say, girls are on the floor, stop it. Adele stopped someone who fainted. There's countless times someone stopped. He did stop, but then he kept going when it was very clear to other people that there were people clearly in trouble. And to me, he holds responsibility because he held that mic.
Unless he was taking tickets, Jeff, I don't see how it's his responsibility who's in this venue and how they're positioned in there. His job is not to orchestrate 50,000 people. There's somebody that feeds their family, puts their kids through college, because that's what they do. They say, I take large crowds and I make sure everybody's safe. That's not Travis Scott's job. Travis Scott's job is to get up there and sing Goosebumps. And that's his job, and that's where it ends.
I completely disagree. I think he's also in charge.
Well, then don't pay the other people then.
Well, I think it all comes together. That's where they're all being sued.
Uh-oh, our executive producer's standing here.
Oh,
oh, great.
I think we're running in circles a bit. Yeah. A bit. But yeah, good conversation.
Coming up on DBL. Oh, that was it? All right, our bad. Sorry, y'all. Kathy Hilton, she stopped by DBL to give a preview of Paris's wedding day. She also spilled a little Real Housewives tea. And Dr. Kohli joins us live to answer all your medical questions. That's coming up next.
Yay.
Closed captioning provided by
Okay.
Yeah, they said stay here though, and I
Yo, buddy.
Looks like I think we solved the Travis Scott thing.
I don't like
when law enforcement is saying,
I know what you're saying,
I don't like that.
I totally know what you're saying. It's like, it's easy. Who's the
Right.
target? Who has the most money?
Stop.
Right.
Let's sue
go after them.
that
And
person.
you know what it does?
They
It lets
didn't
the
tell me.
people that really messed up
Tell me
off the
harder.
hook. Like let's say if The Rock had sponsored
Like harder.
that
And I won't get
hotel.
mad.
I
Tell
mean
them that. I
that
won't.
building that fell in
line. He's a recognizable face, but like he didn't build it. He didn't avoid the building codes. It's just like easy to go after the person you know, and I think it sets a dangerous precedent.
Yeah, and I wish there was more. And again, there might be a criminal investigation just to say if someone's telling you in your ear, keep going.
It felt too much.
Right.
I thought we had too much time.
You're assuming everything's
I didn't
fine
know
and
the
under
time.
control.
Right.
You're not. I don't think
No, I agree,
Travis
but I
Scott
can make it
ever
better.
thought, because his apology seems sincere. He's trying his best. You can't,
covering the funeral costs,
you
by the
can't
way.
rectify that situation, but he's trying. He's covering all the funeral
He's
costs.
refunding
He
all the
canceled his. He's refunding all of it, and he's canceling his upcoming concert, which is 100,000 tickets were sold, and they're $300 a pop.
Yeah. Okay.
So
No,
he's canceling that.
Okay, and let me ask you
And
this,
I'm
Jeff,
not saying that's. He's trying to
Yes,
take
of
responsibility.
course.
I don't think he thought anyone was going to be killed
I agree.
by any means.
But he's not. I don't think, by the way, Travis Scott has malice intent in this. But he does hold responsibility
But if
with gross
someone told
negligence.
him, again, we have to go back to that. If you go back,
Good.
yeah, it was really good. That's why I didn't want to get involved. You guys were going good. But then the third time, Tori goes, I disagree. I was like,
I didn't know how much time we had.
that's. I didn't even
sorry.
see you, and I was like, I think.
I'm trying to learn guys how
What's
to
up, Doc?
orchestrate and conduct an orchestra, and I didn't know how much time I had, and I want them in my ear to be like, shut up,
I'm more of a
Tori,
knuckle
move
guy.
on.
I hope
Thanks,
that's
Sierra. You don't have to nod. You don't have to nod.
I'm more of a knuckle guy. You know what I mean?
Welcome back to DBL. We are so glad to have us with us.
Hey, no problem. I'm glad I'm here.
And you stumbled right over Tori's mess up too.
Yeah, you covered. I messed
saved
up
her.
and you
You
covered
saved
it. You see me.
I'm so
I
glad
appreciate
you're
it.
us with us.
Let's take two. Welcome back to DBL. We're so glad to have you back with us, Dr. Cohen. Take three.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I'm just excited to see you. All right, we got some viewers' questions. Let's hand it off to you guys. First up, we want to get your take on Aaron Rodgers, though. He recently revealed the reasons he didn't get vaccinated, so we want to know your take on someone of his stature speaking what many say is misinformation. Talk to us.
You know, I think I'm speaking for the entire scientific community when I say at this point in the pandemic, it's people like Aaron Rodgers that are preventing us from getting our lives back to normal. It's not the science, it's not the virus, it's the misinformation out there that's doing it. And I would add Joe Rogan to the list, Nicki Minaj, amongst others as well. Let's break down all the things Aaron Rodgers said. First, he says he's allergic to this. What do you think the chance of being allergic to polyethylene glycol is?
Like one in like...
Stop guessing.
I don't
Nobody
know.
knows what that is.
I don't know.
11 in a million. So you got it. You were right. I mean, it's a very low risk of being allergic. Second, there is data that even if you're allergic, you can still get those vaccines, just presented last weekend. Third, tell me what he said about fertility.
He was worried about Shailene Woodley, who he is engaged to, I believe,
Yes.
about they wanted to maybe start a family, and he was concerned about J&J and other things with fertility in the vaccine.
So no evidence that the vaccine causes problems with fertility. But guess what there is evidence of? That getting COVID, which he now has, does cause problems with fertility because there are receptors for the virus on the male reproductive organs. So isn't that a little bit ironic that his misinformation has actually led him to potentially get the thing that he was trying to avoid and increase his chance of infertility?
I want to say this just for a second.
Please.
I know I'm going to get to viewer questions, but I have one of my own.
Yes.
A lot of my friends are going through this very same thing right now. Denver has a very special doctor that people fly out, right? They're having problems with their trying to conceive. Their concern, many of them are like, I don't know if I want to get the vaccine while we're trying to do this. That's just a legit concern they have because the data is so small because COVID is so new. So what would you say to people that have that very same question?
I would say that there's absolutely no scientific basis. So let me tell you guys where these concerns came from. The first, a bunch of women that got the vaccine, their cycle got messed up.
Right.
But guess what? If you travel or you're stressed, you have a fight with your husband, anything that changes the milieu of your body can change your cycle for a month month or two.
Right, became the period changer. I remember that, yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's translating into long-term fertility effects. That's number one. Number two, there was some data submitted to the European FDA that the spike protein, which is the one that we make antibodies against, matches a protein on the placenta. So the worry was that women will start rejecting the placenta because they have antibodies against it. So if that was the case, what do you think would have happened to the birth rate last year when all these, it would have gone down.
Plummeted, yeah.
But instead it went up because guess what people were doing while they were stuck inside?
What, Doc?
Stop it, Jeff. Stop it right now, Jeff.
Playing taboo, Jeff.
Well, thanks for answering that, because a lot of people ask that.
Yes, and let's get to one quick viewer question. Jenna says there's a new blood test that can detect 50 types of cancer. As someone who has a history of cancer in their family, and I also do as well, how will this test help people like our viewer Jenna?
So what we're doing right now, Al, is just looking for about 5 cancers. Those are the only ones we screen for, and everything else we are reactive. We wait for the cancer to present itself. This kind of a test that looks for tiny little chromosomal abnormalities in your blood, so microscopic changes that the cancer can cause, will check 50 cancers, 10 times as many. And you know, with cancer, the earlier you catch it, the more the likelihood of a cure.
This is what Elizabeth Holmes, the Theranos woman, was trying to do with the blood test that failed, but she's trying to get more information on blood drops and get you a whole list of things.
Yes, but that was impossible what she was doing.
But now it's coming to life.
Well, so this one's not FDA approved yet.
Got it.
And Elizabeth was looking at some of the other markers, proteins, like your protein signature, so to speak. But the idea of using a drop of blood to create a personalized profile for you and predict disease before it happens, it's incredible.
Wow.
It's like that movie Gattaca.
That's right.
And Gattaca are all the words in the chromosomes, G-A-T-C-A.
No, the amino acids.
Amino acids.
Yes.
Thank you, doctor. And Al. If you have a question you want answered by Dr. Coley, write us on social media. You can also email info@dailyblastlive.com. We'll be right back.
Rodgers missed Sunday's Green Bay Packers game after testing positive for COVID-19. But that wasn't the only reason he was a trending topic on Twitter and Google. Over the summer, Rodgers said he was immunized, but then confirmed he was not vaccinated against COVID-19. Now, there are questions whether he was following the NFL's COVID-19 protocols and what kind of punishment he could face from the league. The NFL doesn't require players to get a COVID-19 vaccine, but unvaccinated players have different rules they must follow. So, let's verify. Can a player be fined for violating COVID-19 protocols? Our sources are NFL spokesperson Brian McCarthy and the COVID-19 protocols established by the League and Players Association. If they don't get a jab, NFL players must follow strict rules, including getting regularly tested, wearing a mask more often, and limiting some activities in their personal lives. If players don't follow the rules, they face disciplinary action, which in some cases means a fine. For example, all players who refuse testing face a fine of $50,000, and unvaccinated players who refuse to wear a mask in their team's facilities can be fined nearly $15,000. Repeat offenders could be fined up to a week's pay and be suspended for up to 4 weeks without pay. So it's true, players and teams can be fined for violating the league's COVID-19 protocols, and it's happened before. Last season, the New Orleans Saints and Las Vegas Raiders were fined for not following the rules, along with some individual Raiders players. League spokesman Brian McCarthy says the NFL is investigating whether Rodgers and the Packers were following the rules. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
All the venues are getting booked up. I'm gonna end up getting married at like Chuck E. Cheese or something.
Chuck E. Cheese actually is the best pizza in the world.
I know, I love it there.
This is like my wedding too. He just needs to stay in his lane.
Whew, I never liked the Chuck E. Cheese pizza. All right, welcome back to DBL. She's had her hand in reality TV since it first took over the airwaves. And as the mother of Paris Hilton and sister to Real Housewives Kim and Kyle, she's found her lane as one of the realest additions to the Beverly Hills cast. We spoke with Kathy Hilton earlier in today's Chatting with the Stars.
Now, I have to ask ask you right off the top. The main drama, and I don't even know if I should call it drama because it's not petty, it's very serious, that happened this season on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, started when Erica Jane was confronted about her ex Tom Girardi, who is accused of millions of dollars worth of fraud. So it all went down at Kyle's dinner party. I have to ask you, and in fact, a lot of our viewers wrote this very question in. They want to know, why did that moment bring you to tears?
I just was, I was new, and, you know, I'm not on the show all the time, so I wasn't there for the meeting that all the girls had. I did not know a lot of the different things going on. I will look at you with my hand to God. I did not watch the movie that was about her or read anything. I don't know her that well, so, and from what I knew, she seemed very sweet. I just was so sad, and I started to cry. It's around the holidays, and you're thinking about people, and that's all I'll say.
Kathy, girl, huge fan here. First of all, I'm Erica. I wanted to just clarify that because some people say that I look like your sister Kyle as well.
Oh, you do, Erica.
You know, I knew. So on a lighter note, you made viewers laugh out loud, myself included, this season on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Let's take a look.
But it's hard for me to sit there and pretend like everything's great and hunky-dory when it's not.
Who is hunky-dory?
Who's hunky-dory?
Can we look forward to seeing you hold a diamond next season?
Please.
Because currently you're featured as a friend.
You know what? I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. I could be, you know, skiing down Mount Everest. I have no idea really right now. I'm so busy with the wedding, and it's crazy. I had the best time though on the show. I really enjoyed my time, and I love the girls, and I love the crew. And by the way, I love the fans. These fans are just so, like, they love they know everything that's going on. They're sometimes funnier than the cast, and they just are very precious.
So, Kathy, you mentioned Paris. You must be very excited. She's getting married this Thursday on 11/11, and we can all tune in to watch. Is there a special reason why she picked that date, 11/11?
11/11 is since she was a young girl. It's a lucky day, she thinks, and I think so as well. 11/11. So she said, I don't care where, but I'm getting married 11/11.
All right. And what are some of your favorite details about her wedding plans?
I put out 3 different tablecloths, and what I did was I went ahead and designed one with nuage, and it's called Claire Lace, and it happens to be very similar to this Oscar de la Renta beaded jacket.
Nice. Stunning.
So this is vintage too. But can you see the detail?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I've got the best for last, but I'm going to tell you something in a minute, a secret. This is Mother of the Bride, my champagne.
Yes.
And we're doing a special drink, Moet Rose Imperial Champagne. And I wanted to have a little pink for, Paris has got to have a little pink in her wedding, right? So we're doing 2 special cocktails, and one is going to have pink cotton candy.
DBL Nation, you can see more of Kathy in Paris in Love. It streams this Thursday on Peacock. Thanks to Kathy, and we'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
The United Nations is hosting a summit this week to discuss the world's top climate issues, including deforestation. Some social media posts suggest choosing certain brands of chocolate could help make a difference because cocoa farmers often cut down all other types of trees to keep up with growing demand. So let's verify. Is cocoa production causing deforestation? Our sources are the environmental advocacy group Mighty Earth, the World Cocoa Foundation's Director of Environment, and 3 of the largest chocolate companies in the world. The concern about deforestation begins with where and how cocoa is grown. Cocoa plants thrive near the equator, and the World Cocoa Foundation estimates Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana produce 2/3 of the world's supply of cocoa. But to keep up with demand and expand cocoa crops, farmers often cut down all other types of trees. The WCF estimates Côte d'Ivoire lost a quarter of its forest since 2001.
And cocoa has been a major driver of that deforestation. In order to maintain their livelihoods, they'll abandon their old and diseased farms and expand into new areas, very often being forested areas, resulting in deforestation.
But since this isn't a new issue, environmentalists have long pressured chocolate companies to buy sustainable cocoa and pay farmers better so they're incentivized to do less damage to forests. In 2017, a partnership between the industry, governments, the World Cocoa Foundation, and other stakeholders started to address this by planting 10 million new trees, promoting more sustainable production, and increasing traceability. Nestle and Mars committed to buying only deforestation-free cocoa by 2025, and Hershey plans to eliminate deforestation from its entire supply chain by 2030. So it's true, cocoa production is causing deforestation, but organizations say you can help by opting for sustainably produced chocolate. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
College enrollment is down, way down. Fewer folks are signing up for classes across the board, whether it be community college, undergraduate, or graduate programs. Overall, enrollment is down 3.5%. And when you look at just students going to college straight out of high school, that's a 7% drop. The National Student Clearinghouse says we haven't seen a dip this big in more than 50 years. Community college enrollment is down about 15% in the last 2 years. Researchers say this is troubling since community colleges often enroll more low-income students and students of color. Usually, when we're coming out of a recession, college enrollments go up so folks can learn new skills to fill open jobs. That hasn't been the case this time around. The pandemic meant when the economy was recovering and more people usually go to school, recent high school grads went straight for the jobs instead. If more people aren't going to college, then there are fewer skilled workers available to hire, and the economy suffers long term. And that's connecting the dots.
Welcome back to DBL. You may not believe how widespread identity theft is. Well, it's time for a security alert sponsored by Lifelock. During the pandemic, identity theft rose by a whopping 45%. For real. Not only that, but it turns out social media users are 30% more likely to have their identity stolen. So listen, if you have a Facebook account, make sure you're not sharing personal information online. Most people don't even think about getting their identity stolen, but the effects really do have a lasting negative emotional impact on victims, and you are at a higher risk than you think. If your information has been breached, LifeLock is here to help. LifeLock keeps you and your digital identity secure from cyber criminals. Call 1-800-419-0131 or visit lifelock.com to learn more. It's such a violation. My sister had this happen, and it's so like emotionally, you're so vulnerable. Someone's being you.
It's scary, and you really can't do anything about it. I've gone through it. Wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
No, I know.
Can we do a photo shoot like me and Alan were the stock photos? Like, it's always me and Al's photo.
That's great.
Let's work on that.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. Be safe. Bye, guys. Just you sad.